Rap is a genre predicated on big money and lavish lifestyles. Many artists come from humble beginnings and relish the opportunity to flaunt their wealth. Despite the braggadocio, many artists fall flat and end up broke, but others combine their success with business acumen and ambition to earn them millions of dollars. Today we are counting down the richest rappers of all time. This New Orleans native has produced such hit albums as Lights Out, The Carter, and I'm Not a Human Being. Lil Wayne has sold over 100 million records worldwide, including more than 15 million albums and 37 million digital tracks in the United States, making him one of the best-selling artists of all time. Lil Wayne also currently serves as the CEO of his own label imprint, Young Money Entertainment. Signees have included Nicki Minaj, Omarion, and DJ Khaled. Though Wayne announced his retirement from music in 2011, he's continued to collaborate with other artists and tour relentlessly. After years of legal battles with Birdman, Wayne finally released The Carter 5 in 2018. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, with the second largest streaming week for an album. Wayne hasn't dabbled much in the world of business, but his record sales alone earned him an impressive net worth of $145 million. Coming in at number 9 is Pharrell Williams. The rapper made a successful solo career after finding fame with his rap group, Nerd. On top of this, Williams has numerous business ventures. In 2005, Williams partnered with Japanese fashion icon Nigo to create and launch the streetwear brands Billionaire Boys Club and Ice Cream Footwear. In 2008, Williams co-designed a series of jewelry and glasses for Louis Vuitton. Williams also co-composed The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Hans Zimmer, Johnny Marr, Michael Eisinger, and David A. Stewart. Most recently, Williams collaborated with Chanel and Adidas to design shoes that were sold for €1,000 each. This combined with album sales and touring to earn the artist a net worth of $150 million. The title of 8th richest rapper is another three-way tie between Biggie Smalls, Kanye West, and Ice Cube. Though the notorious B.I.G. was murdered in 1997, he sold more than 20 million records in his lifetime. And when his net worth is adjusted for inflation, he had a whopping $160 million at the time of his death. This matches Kanye West, whose musical output and business acumen have earned him a fortune. West is among the most critically acclaimed musicians of the 21st century and one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 120 million records sold worldwide. He's won a total of 21 Grammy Awards, making him one of the most awarded artists of all time and the most Grammy-awarded artist of his generation. As a fashion designer, he's collaborated with Nike, Louis Vuitton, and APC on both clothing and footwear, and have most prominently resulted in the JayZ collaboration with Adidas beginning in 2013. He is the founder and head of the creative content company Donda, with an equivalent net worth is O'Shea Jackson, better known as Ice Cube. As a solo artist and with NWA, Ice Cube has sold more than 20 million records. On top of a successful acting career and the Solo by Cube lifestyle brand, Ice Cube has amassed a $160 million fortune. There's a three-way tie for the 7th wealthiest rapper in the world. Birdman and Ronald Slim Williams co-founded Cash Money Records in New Orleans in 2001. The label put out solo work by Birdman and his rap group The Big Timers, as well as launching the career of Birdman's protege Lil Wayne. Other notable acts include Rich Homie Quan, Drake, and Young Thug. Birdman was always more of a performer while Slim held down the business. They're now primarily concerned with promoting other artists. Tying for 7th place is Usher Raymond IV, better known as Usher. The Dallas, Texas native has sold more than 75 million records worldwide and is considered one of the most iconic R&B singers of all time. Aside from his music career, Usher has lucrative investments in Macy's, Tidal, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. All three artists have a net worth of $170 million. If you grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s, you likely listened to Eminem's music. Whether you're a fan of his dark lyrics or not, there's no denying the Detroit native, born Marshall Bruce Mathers III, has made an impact on the rap and hip-hop community since he started to make it big around 1998. Now, 20 years, 43 Grammy nominations, 15 Grammy wins, and 1 Oscar award later, the author, actor, rapper, and father continues to spark the interest of fans. Recently dubbed the greatest rapper of all time by Ranker, Eminem is still one of the most celebrated rappers in history. With classic albums like the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, and Encore, Eminem has sold just shy of 50 million albums during his career. However, the bulk of Eminem's income results from touring. Eminem has had a few tours in recent years, but none more successful than his tour with Rihanna in 2015. The Monster Tour earned over $36 million, according to a Shady Records fan site. Additionally, he and Rihanna brought in $12.4 million during their 2-night stint at the MetLife Stadium, more than the amount JayZ and Beyonce earned during their 2-night run at the same facility, according to Forbes. This combination of income secured Eminem a net worth of $190 million, making him number 6 on our countdown. Percy Robert Miller, better known as Master P, is a multi-talented artist from New Orleans. Miller began his entrepreneurial journey at the ripe age of 16, selling the latest model cell phones to his classmates at school. He had to take this route because no one would hire him. Miller also had another set of skills that he believed could serve him well: basketball. He was good enough to earn an athletic scholarship at the University of Houston. He would eventually transfer to Merritt Junior College, where he would study business as a major. Through a twist of fate, Miller would receive a $10,000 check as a settlement for a malpractice claim associated with the death of his grandfather, allowing him to fund the next leg of his entrepreneurial odyssey. His first success as a rapper came in the late 90s with the release of his fifth album, Ice Cream Man. It contained the hit single Mr. Ice Cream Man, which accelerated Master P's rise to fame. On September 2, 1997, Master P released his breakthrough album, Ghetto D. The first week sales of the album were the highest of any of Master P's albums, selling over 761,000 copies, and it was eventually certified triple platinum. It contained the hit single Make 'Em Say Master P's highest charting single to date. This sparked a string of hit albums, all released under his No Limits record label. He has since invested the millions of dollars he's made from his No Limit record company into a travel agency, a Foot Locker retail outlet, real estate, stocks, film, music and television production, toy making, a phone sex company, clothing, telecommunications, a jewelry line, auto accessories, book and magazine publishing, car rims, fast food franchises, and gas stations. In addition to his vast business empire, Master P has a successful acting career and was signed to both the Charlotte Hornets and the Toronto Raptors for one season. His numerous income streams earned him a net worth of $240 million, making him the fifth richest rapper of all time. Russell Simmons is a Queens native and brother to Run DMC member Rev Run. Though Simmons isn't much of an MC himself, he's produced most of rap's biggest artists through his label Def Jam. Along with legendary producer Rick Rubin, Simmons put out such influential artists as LL Cool J, The Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, and Slayer. In 2000, Universal Music Group bought Simmons' stake in Def Jam for $100 million, though he stayed on in lucrative managerial position. In his time with the company, Def Jam put out records by Big Sean, Kanye West, Vince Staples, Justin Bieber, Logic, and Pusha T, among many others. Unlike many of his peers, Simmons made his money almost exclusively from record sales, securing him a healthy net worth of $340 million. Sean Carter, better known as JayZ, is one of the wealthiest musicians in the world, with an estimated net worth of $810 million. But the rapper came from humble beginnings, growing up poor in the Marcy Housing Project in Brooklyn, New York City. Drugs and violence surrounded JayZ during his turbulent youth. The rapper has detailed his years as a drug dealer in numerous songs and interviews. But much like other rap luminaries, JayZ controlled his own destiny by founding Rockefeller Records in 1995. After striking a distribution deal with Priority, JayZ released his 1996 debut album Reasonable Doubt with beats from acclaimed producers such as DJ Premier and Super DJ Clark Kent, and an appearance by the Notorious B.I.G. The album reached number 23 on the Billboard 200 and was generally favored by critics. From here, things snowballed, and Carter went on to release a string of classic albums like The Blueprint, The Black Album, and Magna Carta Holy Grail. The rapper has sold more than 36 million records worldwide, but it was his business ventures that secured his current status. In 1999, he co-founded the clothing retailer Rocawear, which was sold in 2007 for $204 million. JayZ dipped his feet into the world of sports business in 2003 when he bought a small percentage of the New Jersey Nets. He had an outsized influence on the NBA team and pushed to revamp its branding upon its move to Brooklyn in 2012. He sold his portion of the team the next year. In 2015, JayZ bought the company behind Tidal, a music streaming service, for $56 million. Today, Tidal is worth about $600 million, and JayZ rakes in even more money from Armand de Branac, the brand of champagne he bought in 2014. He's also the partial owner of Deuse, a cognac made by Bacardi. With such a diverse portfolio, JayZ stands to make millions for years to come. Though Sean Combs has had a number of stage names over the years, his earnings have stayed consistent throughout his career. Like many rappers on this countdown, Combs dealt with hardship growing up. While living in an impoverished part of New York City, Combs' father was shot to death in his car while attempting to sell drugs. Combs was only 2 years old at the time, but this didn't seem to hold him back. Combs pursued a business major at Howard University before dropping out to form his own record label, Bad Boy Entertainment. The label worked with Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, Mariah Carey, Usher, and Lil Kim, among others. Their first massive hit came when they signed their newcomer, the Notorious B.I.G. His first LP, Ready to Die, sold more than 2 million records in its first year alone. In 1997, under the name Puff Daddy, Combs recorded his first commercial vocal work as a rapper. His debut album, No Way Out, was released on July 1, 1997 through Bad Boy Records. Originally titled Hell Up in Harlem, the album underwent several changes after the Notorious B.I.G. was killed on March 9, 1997. The album earned Combs 5 nominations at the 40th Grammy Awards in 1998, winning the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. On September 7, 2000, the album was certified septuple platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America for sales of over 7 million copies. A string of successful albums solidified Combs as a rap mainstay, but much like Dre, it wasn't hip-hop that made Combs most of his millions. In 1998, Combs started a clothing line, Sean John. California billionaire Ronald Burkle invested $100 million into the company in 2003. Also in 2003, the National Labor Committee revealed that factories producing the clothing in Honduras were violating Honduran labor laws. Despite a number of labor disputes surrounding the business, Sean John proved extremely lucrative, as did Combs' investments in Ciroc Vodka and Aqua Hydrate, a calorie-free drink for athletes. His current net worth is an astonishing $825 million, bringing him in as the second wealthiest rapper of all time. Dre began his career as a member of the world-class Wrecking Crew, but it was his legendary rap crew NWA that first brought him international notoriety. NWA included the talents of Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, and DJ Yella, and popularized explicit lyrics in rap to detail the violence of street life. Propelled by the hit Fuck the Police, the group's first full album Straight Outta Compton became a major success, despite an almost complete absence of radio airplay or major concert tours. Their lyrics were considered so violent and vulgar that many record stores banned their albums, and the group even received a formal warning from the FBI. Citing internal conflict and ongoing financial disputes, Dre left the group in 1992 to pursue a solo career. Dr. Dre's debut solo album was The Chronic, released under Death Row Records with Suge Knight as executive producer. The Chronic ushered in a new style of rap, both in terms of musical style and lyrical content, including introducing a number of artists to the industry, such as Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, and Jewel, on the strength of singles like Nothing But a G Thing, Let Me Ride, and Fuck with Dre Day. The Chronic became a cultural phenomenon, its G-Funk sound dominating much of hip-hop music for the early 1990s. In 1993, the Recording Industry Association of America certified the album triple platinum, and Dr. Dre also won the Grammy Award for Best Rap Solo Performance for his performance on Let Me Ride. For that year, Billboard magazine also ranked Dr. Dre as the 8th best-selling musical artist, The Chronic as the 6th best-selling album, and Nothing But a G Thing as the 11th best-selling single. This started a period of extremely lucrative music releases on Dre's Death Row Records. He put out Snoop Dogg's first release, Doggy Style, collaborated with former NWA member Ice Cube on a number of hit singles, and in 1995 signed a newcomer by the name of Tupac to his roster. The Compton, California rapper has sold millions of records over his career, but that's not how he accrued most of his wealth. In July 2008, Dre launched his now ubiquitous Beats by Dre headphones. The high-end headphones were intended to create an immersive circumaural experience. After a lucrative partnership with Hewlett-Packard in 2009, Beats were purchased by Apple for $3 billion, effectively making Dre the wealthiest man in hip-hop. His total net worth, an unbelievable $830 million, making him the wealthiest rapper alive.